Puts it on the floor. And stops, and he brought it down. He brought the whole goal down. Goodness.
The NBA center.
Dennis Scott was starting. Bowie was coming off the bench as Hill follows and almost and does bring down the entire backcourt.
It seems like he would just really dig down.
Yao Ming comes right back to dunk it.
And his teammates love it. They're like, yeah, Yao, this is what we want. Yes, sir. Powers it. Yao Ming, stopped by Morning. Yao.
What a spin move. Is he running out of real estate? No, he's down to Hakeem. Trying to turn baseline.
Oh, Ewing took a shove from Olajuwon and then threw up the facial.
Known for being tall, hefty, powerful, and sometimes slow big men, centers have needed to perfect getting rebounds, defending the paint, and dominating the inside game. Those things may have worked 30 years ago, but in order to succeed in the league today, centers need to be able to do much, much more. Many teams right now shoot more threes than ever before, and the NBA has attracted lots of untapped basketball talent all over the globe because of the league's resounding popularity. To set a prime example, let's take Dirk's journey as a case study. When an under-the-radar German Dirk Nowitzki entered the league, the NBA was still embracing the traditional center role. Despite that, Nowitzki carved and pioneered a niche of his own. A lanky 7-footer who had enough finesse that could stroke perimeter jump shots and long bombs. The trend of the shooting big man continues upwards as of today. The dying breed of traditional centers must adapt quickly to this new environment, or else they'll become extinct just like the dinosaurs of the past. Positionless basketball is the new norm in today's game, and teams now demand players who can play multiple positions at the same time. Luckily for us, we're able to witness the influx of uber-talented bigs who now are categorized as unicorns. Unicorns are tagged as those tall players that possess all-round guard skills, meaning they could shoot, pass, dribble, and play like the little guys despite their enormous size. Kristaps Porzingis and Giannis Antetokounmpo are just some of the household names that you'd often find associated with the term unicorn. But in today's video, we'll feature another big man who's considered to be another unicorn. But not just any unicorn. I'm talking about none other than the 6'10" starting center of the Los Angeles Lakers, Anthony Davis. Fresh off his championship season playing alongside another unicorn in LeBron James, the Lakers look to anchor its offense around Davis, with the King dialing it down a bit given his declining age.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
Now that the Browns in command for the purple and gold, will he be able to have an MVP season and lead them to back-to-back championships, outlast other unicorns inside the NBA jungle, and finally be hailed as the greatest center in the modern-day NBA? Let's find out. At age 15, no one would have ever thought that a goofy-looking 6'2", 175-pound kid out of Perspective Charter School in Illinois would become the most dominating force in the NBA today. Playing as a point guard during his freshman and sophomore year, Davis had experienced a tremendous growth spurt around his junior season that made him an instant 6'8" kid. With the added inches on his body combined with his point guard skills, Davis easily became unstoppable during his high school days. By 19, he had another 2-inch growth spurt while playing for the Kentucky Wildcats. Just like in high school, Davis led the charge for the Wildcats as he grabbed numerous tournament awards, which culminated in an NCAA title back in 2012. Fast forward 8 years later,
the first pick in the 2012 NBA draft, the New Orleans Hornets select Anthony Davis.
The former #1 overall pick has been a permanent fixture in the MVP race as he continuously put up consistent numbers on the board. Take note that he's not even in his prime years yet, and with that being said, the possibilities are limitless for this 27-year-old NBA champion. Even Shaq thinks so. Back in 2015, Shaq told his son to watch and learn from AD because he'll probably be one of the best to ever do it. To gauge where Davis stands amongst the great centers in today's game, let's break down his game to see what makes him so unique and set some comparisons with his current competition. His defense.
Butler makes his drive, goes inside, blocked by Davis.
First off, let's talk about his defense. Since his collegiate days, he's been known to be a rim protector rather than a scorer. I think this facet of his game plays a crucial part if we want Davis to be perched on top of the pecking order. His defense-first mentality sets him apart from other unicorns who don't prioritize defense like Jokic and Porzingis. He won the Defensive Player of the Year award when he was still playing in Kentucky and was a 3-time and 2-time blocks leader both in the NBA and in college. With a 7'5" wingspan, players often think twice in penetrating the lane due to his mere presence alone. Compared to other regular centers who just use their stature and raise their arms to contest shots, Davis is the type of player who doesn't give up on plays and uses a ton of energy on the defensive end. He's pretty agile and sneaks up from behind to swat some shots too. Davis also has the speed and footwork to go toe-to-toe with smaller players or even the bigger ones too. In short, he can defend multiple positions with such ease. This is pretty evident when he took the sole responsibility in guarding Jimmy Butler in the recent NBA Finals. He's also a 2-time member of the defensive first team and averaged 2.3 blocks per game last season. And this just goes to show that the Brown wants to impose his will on both ends of the floor.
There's that big point guard you're talking about, Anthony Davis, the steal. He's going all the way. Drive, kick, cook. Yes!
His offense.
And he spins and scores!
Speaking of both ends of the floor, let's talk about his offense. It's pretty rare to see a combination of finesse and power for someone with a 6'10" frame, but AD's one of those 6'10s that have each of them in the bag. Compared to his offensive-oriented peers like Embiid, Karl-Anthony Towns or Giannis, who tends to be more inefficient in the mid-range game, AD has one of the smoothest shooting strokes that allowed him to be potent in the perimeter. According to BasketballReference.com, he's shooting closely to 44% around the 10 to 16 feet area and pretty solid overall in the two-point region with almost 54%. As you might also notice, Davis's offensive game had improved significantly throughout his playing career. For instance, Davis shot poorly or didn't even dare to shoot three-pointers in his early years with New Orleans. However, the numbers show that AD was able to adapt to the NBA's change of landscape as he began to take three-pointers starting around his 4th year in the league. Now, another thing that I believe makes Davis head and shoulders above the rest of the competition is his improved ball handling. Back in his playing days as a Pelican, Davis was known back then as an inside operator that could manhandle anyone using his sheer size and strength. Aside from that, he also has solid footwork off the block and has decent balanced fadeaway jumpers when he's backed against opposing centers. But as you've seen in the recent playoffs, he's developed his ball handling skills even further, which makes it pretty annoying if you're not teammates with AD. Just trying to imagine a 6'10" guy dribbling between the legs while doing step-back J's. His shooting mechanic looks very balanced with a smooth follow-through, and given his height, his J's are almost unblockable at this point if you ask me. In addition, AD's a type of big man who relies on finesse instead of strength. It makes him even harder to guard as he can do floaters, runners, and a variety of soft touches as well. But from time to time, Davis can get up there for some good old-fashioned throwdown. AD has the skill set and mindset to become the greatest center, not only in this generation, but in the entire history of the NBA. With his NBA experience still growing under the tutelage of LeBron, Davis can become a multi-champion even after LeBron's departure. Combined with his gift of height and length, AD virtually doesn't have any weaknesses in the offensive end. He can play back to the basket as a towering big man, and when you push him outside of the block, he'll hit you with those lethal mid-range jumpers. Should you decide to close him up, he's got the handles to blow by defenders and can both finish soft and with power around the rim. Sending him to the charity stripe's also not an option you should consider because he's shooting around 85% from that area. On the other hand, he also presents some problems in the defensive end with his sheer size and has got nimble feet to match up with players in any position. Do you think AD has some sort of weakness or area of his game that still needs to improve further? Let me know your thoughts on this one through the comments below. And finally, with LeBron James finally considering taking some load management, I believe AD will have a breakout year and become the MVP in the upcoming season. You heard it here first. Once he's grabbed the MVP award, I think AD will win more championships with a player of his caliber and is probably destined to become the greatest center ever.